The following is a presentation of Unidentified Entertainment and 22nd Century Radio, Manassas, Fairfax, Washington, D.C.
Gotta remember to feed my dog. Good grief. No wonder she's bothering me. It's ridiculous. I can just imagine our celebrity chef, Mike Fay, giving me grief about that comment later. Dude, you're not feeding your dog? Whatever. She's fine. She could stand to lose a couple pounds, if I may say so. Right? That's right. All right, we're back again. The Time and Space Radio Show. You can find us at Time and Space US on Twitter. Hashtag Tiangong1. Man, I did it again. Tiangong down. Hashtag Tiangong down. So that's what I get for not putting it actually right in front of me. See, I'm trying to do it off of memory. Hashtag Tiangong down. You can win some Litecoin prizes if you can tell us when that space station is going to crash. Appears it's about to crash. If you're in the state of Michigan here in the United States, you might want to keep an eye out. Pay attention to your 911, 911 alerts. Apparently they're thinking there's a chance it might hit there. Also, hashtag Russia18Picks. We're doing a World Cup contest, so look for some of that information on Twitter. Let's get back to the topic here, though. Wasting too much time. So the Pope. The Pope, Pope Francis, he is in the news. And as I said earlier, one topic that I am looking forward to discussing more is atheism. Pretty interesting, huh? How about this? So the Pope pops up in the news this week. I want to just touch on a couple of things here. You may have heard about this. It certainly got its share of press coverage. I'm pulling from the National Catholic Register. I'm going to put the link in the show notes. Pope allegedly says hell doesn't exist. In latest Scalfari interview, the nonagenarian atheist philosopher, that would be that guy Scalfari, also claims the Pope is honored to be called a revolutionary, blah, blah, blah. So there's got to be 10,000 variations on this news item out there, and if you Google it, I mean, really, tread carefully. There was some, I mean, just right in the headlines, you could see people just openly attacking the Pope. And so I was trying to get to a source where I could touch on a couple of things, and I feel like I can kind of trust, you know, that there's a fair balance of information here. And some really interesting points that were made. I'll skip through the article written by Edward Penton, again from the National Catholic Register. Link will be in the show notes. Pope Francis has again received Eugenio Scalfari, the 93-year-old atheist philosopher, leading to more controversial comments that the Vatican has had to insist are not faithful to the Pope's words. In this fifth meeting, now I'm reading the article here, okay? In this fifth meeting with Scalfari, who neither records interviews nor takes notes, the Pope allegedly told him again that hell does not exist and that he's honored to be called a revolutionary. Interesting twist. I mean, it's interesting twist. Doesn't record the interviews and doesn't take notes. Okay. Pope's purported comments were published Thursday in La Repubblica, the left-leaning Italian newspaper that Scalfari co-founded, and which the Pope has said is his favorite newspaper. Whew. Hell does not exist. What exists is the disappearance of sinful souls, the Pope allegedly said. Well, okay, headlines, I'm skipping ahead here. Headlines were quick to spread around the world saying Pope Francis believes hell does not exist, a belief which would break with 2,000 years of church teaching. The article is the result of Scalfari's reconstruction, in which the exact words spoken by the Pope are not quoted, and previous conversations between the Pope and Scalfari have often caused controversy. You know, so, okay. Anyway, so elsewhere in the interview, the Pope allegedly said the word revolutionary. He's honored to be called that. You know, he's been referred to as kind of a radical, maybe pope. I don't know if radical is the right word, but just a little further out there than the more conservative popes that the church has been used to over the years, right? In previous interviews with the famous Italian atheist, the Pope is supposed to have told Scalfari not to convert, saying communists think like Christians. I'm not even sure what that means. And there is no Catholic God. I don't know what to make of some of these. I just don't have time to get into the atheist spin on what the Pope said, even though there's no evidence that that's actually what he said. I don't know. It's just a very odd story. The whole thing is just so odd. Scalfari in 2015 reported the Pope allegedly making a similar statement that there is no punishment for an unrepentant soul, but just the annihilation of that soul. Anyway, they're apparently friends, right? He said that the Pope, he and the Pope phone each other off and they exchange news with one another, and occasionally they meet up. Apparently this has been maybe the 5th official encounter where Scalfari has visited him as the actual Pope. Anyway, Riccardo Cassioli, director of the Italian Catholic Daily. I'm not going to embarrass myself trying to pronounce an Italian name. Welcomed the fact that the Pope is establishing relationships with people such as Scalfari, who are, quote, far away from the church, from faith, perhaps. But Cassioli also warned that the comments coming from such interviews, which is the reason I was reading this article, the comments coming from such interviews become, quote, a cause of scandal in the literal sense of the term, because they disorient and confuse many Catholics, because these sentences are then used and abused by those whose purpose is the destruction of the church. And just that one final thought there, sorry if the whole rest of that was a little bit too rambling for your taste, but you know, that's where I was trying to get to, and that's the that's the part that just doesn't make any sense to me at all. I don't understand. Anyway, it was a convenient opportunity to attack the Pope and attack the Catholic Church, and there's plenty of that material out there, and this just, you know, was putting wood on an already burning fire. So anyway, I've got a couple more thoughts and topics to cover. I'll try to patch that segment together for you, and we're going to talk very quickly about a couple more upcoming shows and the one article that really stood out to me the entire week. So thanks for listening. Time and Space Radio Show. I'll be back in just a minute.
22nd Century Radio.